Okay, good morning and welcome to the Audit Committee meeting. I just chaired the regular meeting. Audit Committee is Georgette, so why don't I turn that over to you?
Sure, yeah, so we'll officially call the audit meeting to start and, thanks. So we'll introduce ourselves, everyone that's here and present for the meeting. My name is Georgette Steffens-Altamari. I am the chair of the Audit Committee.
Victoria Storrs, member of the IDA, also chair of the IDA, but a member of the Audit Committee.
Kate Hedgeman, Executive Director and Agency Counsel.
John Criscone, External Auditor from Cusack & Company.
And then join us via Zoom or online.
Is Al Michaels.
It's Al Michaels, CFO.
All right, wonderful. So we had received a copy of the minutes of our February 28th, 2024 meeting. I didn't have any changes or edits.
Yep, I didn't either.
Okay.
So with that, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes,
I'll second it.
and then all in favor?
Aye.
Just the two of us. Okay, so so actually, I emailed you a copy of this letter, but only just recently.
The engagement letter. Yep.
Yeah, the engagement letter, you have it. So really today is just about going through the engagement letter, the audit process, although I know we're further along and are excited that we're further along earlier than usual.
Yeah.
But it's an opportunity for us to ask any questions that we might have about the process. And then we'll meet at the end of our February meeting and review the draft.
Okay.
With the audit committee at that time. So do you just want to quickly go through?
Yeah, I mean, the audit process really hasn't changed much from last year.
Right.
There's same players, no changing of the guard. We were here at Al's office actually a couple weeks ago, and we went through the whole pretty much the whole audit. I sent draft financial statements yesterday afternoon. Yeah. There's really no nothing major to report other than some financial highlights comparing last year to this year. Obviously last year was had a little bit more revenue from the Port of Albany contracts that you guys had. Now you're kind of receiving some additional fees for 2024, and 2025 is kind of like a to be determined to see what that those fees might be. PSEG revenues, it's really energy demand dependent, and I think they were a little bit lower this year compared to last year. But overall, for 2024, I think you still ended up with an increase in net assets of about 130,000. Obviously, interest income was another big hit this year. With the this, I think this is kind of year two for your CD investments, the first full year really, and so that pretty much doubled actually more than doubled from what you had last year. And I think this year for 2024, you also had the expenses for the CPL architects for that professional study that you guys are doing, which is another change again from last year to this year. No internal control issues. I know we did kind of like an internal control study a ways back, just to kind of pinpoint what you guys might be able to do just to increase or add controls for the review and approval processes, and be stuck with it. That's one of the things that we check every single year, is just making sure that like Al doesn't have too much power to cut the checks, do the QuickBooks, do the reconciliations, approve the bank statements. There should be somebody else in that process, which I think your treasurer is involved in that. So one of the things that we ask for in our internal control walkthroughs is just to make sure, yeah, you're saying it's being done, but is it being done? So we always make sure that those bank statements, for example, would have those initials for, whoever that secondary review would be from.
I usually do it too.
Yeah, so that's, and, that's about it. Like I said, nothing too crazy to report this year. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I don't have any questions. We'll take an opportunity to review the draft, and then, Dick had some comments, so I'll review those as well. Yeah, I mean, the process, right, it's not a very complicated audit for sure, and, right, the Paris requirements, right, so it is, I don't have any questions about.
That's the last thing that we always wait for is, everybody to kind of provide Al with their information so he can complete the report, and then we attach it to our report. It's listed as other information. It's nothing that we opine on, but it is part of your financial statement package. So it's an important part of the package.
Right.
So usually, it takes probably another month or so to, finalize that report, and we can hopefully maybe attach it to the drafts before you guys, we meet again in February.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be. There's not as many projects active because the Vista projects have aged off, so it should be a little easier to get the parish report numbers.
Just make sure, and I said this to Dick too, Georgette's the chair, so we want to make sure everybody's in the, like, I'll get emails from you guys, but then they're over here, so just, let's copy everybody so we all know what's going on.
Perfect.
And we'll find a third member for the audit committee to replace David Garrett, who
Right.
came off the full board, and we'll get that taken care of.
Did Shaquem take his spot, or do we still have another spot open?
Ja took governance committee, so
Oh,
there's
no,
still,
on the board.
Yes.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are we full?
yeah, we have all
Okay.
7,
Okay.
yeah.
So then we'll just have to figure out out of the people who we can convince.
Yeah, okay. I'll make a note, too.
Okay. Do you have any other questions about the audit process?
I do not.
Okay. So seeing that there are no other questions, we talked about the next audit committee meeting being immediately following our board meeting in February. So that's February 26th
I believe so, yeah.
at 9 a.m. And then we'll review the draft at that time. And otherwise, I take a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn the audit committee meeting.
All right, and I obviously second it. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you
All
so
right,
much.
great.
Bye, Al.
Take care.
So I run the down.